Hey, okay, so I am back. We are back. Let's get back into the 5 day, a book a day challenge. Okay, so essentially, what we're doing is continuing this conversation around digital product books as well as print on demand physical books that you can produce quickly using my QCQC method, right? Quickly creating quality content. So we are officially on day 3. Day 1, we talked about workbooks. Day 2, I dropped on you idea books. Day 3, we are working on binge books, right? So essentially, number 1, hopefully you're in the challenge, but if not, you can always go over to sistersense.com/ABAD, a book a day, to get access. Okay, so that's a great place to go to dig into the a book a day experience. And of course, make sure you grab your free easy to edit template from yours truly so you can actually start playing with some of these templates that I've been sharing with you for the last couple of days. In addition to that, what I wanted to do part 2, right? Because every day we check in twice. What I wanted to do now was actually take you into the binge book template and show you how you can zhuzh it, you can work it to create amazing. So here is the template, but guess what? Before we get in there, I think what I want to do is to share and shout out the lovely Yandel, one of my favorite client customers, business besties, all around amazing go-getters, right? I said, listen, y'all, I am challenging you to work on these good goods. And Yandel jumped in yesterday, knocked out 25 ways to heal, and it is amazing. I have different style templates that I like to share with you guys. Some of them are letterhead size, and some of them are square. I love my square templates. And so Yandel was able to put together this beautiful guide, right, on 25 ways to heal, and quickly share her recommendations. So I wanted to shout her out and share on the screen the good that she's been working on as part of this challenge. And then, of course, number 2, jump into the binge book templates, which we are going to be working through today. Okay. So, as always, I like to give you guys a variety of covers to choose from, being able to have a welcome page and then decide what style page you want to put your content on. So, just to reset, if you're just coming on in here and you're not quite clear, what's a binge book, LaShonda? So, as I mentioned, every day as part of this 5 day experience, I'm actually first doing a prep session and then jumping on to do this kind of tech session. So, when we prepped initially, I mentioned that what I like to do is create books that I can link to some of my best content. So, sometimes I will link to blog posts, audios, podcasts, videos, social media content, so I can drive traffic back to those spaces. Okay. So a binge book basically is creating a resource guide where people can binge, they can consume your content with just one click, right? So this one click away from getting access to your amazing. So, a great example of that is this email marketing and sales guide. And if you click on any of these articles, you'll basically be able to see and read and consume the content, the blog posts that I've put together. And as a matter of fact, as I'm sharing this with you, I think one of what the things I will do is actually put a link to this particular PDF inside of our A Book a Day challenge. Okay. So I'm going to try to do that today. But if you log in over at sistersense.com/ABAD and you do not see this one right here, just say, hey, LaShonda, where is it? Okay. And I'll be sure to put that in there. And of course, if you're catching me live, let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. If you're catching me on the replay side, do that. Plus, remember to drop into the comment box, #replays rock. All right. You guys rock. You are totally amazing. And I want to be able to motivate you to create your amazing, right? Within a few hours or a few days. just like Yondell, strategically, intentionally put your contents together, and QC quickly create quality content. So, as I mentioned before, this particular guide has several of my articles that I've written on email marketing and sales. So, when you click on any of those articles, it will take you to the website, right? So, you go, okay, that's cool. How do I do that, LaShonda? How do I make it happen? I got you. That's what we're here to do, right? So now what I'm going to do, hey, thanks for tagging your business besties. Awesome to see you here. Of course, feel free to tag and continue to share. What I'm going to do now is actually take you into the template. Let's go back into the template. I've got like 101 tabbies open. Trying to maneuver through these is definitely a skill. It's definitely a skill. So let's go into the template and make some beautiful music together. Actually, if I go into my document from this morning's session, one of the things that I mentioned to you is what I like to do is first prep and then tech, right? So you decide what's your theme for your binge book going to be, who are you going to create it for, what kind of content do you want to include in your book, and then you go and find those pieces, right? So in my case, for this particular project, I wanted to be able to talk about how to go about making money online and then finding some of the articles I've written on doing just that, right? So first I make a list of my blog posts. In this case, I'm talking about me creating a binge book where I can give people links to blog posts, but you're not limited. You could do this for your YouTube videos, your Instagram, your TikTok posts, Facebook, podcast, etc. Sky's the limit, right? So 5 ways to print your profits, digital self-publishing, and print on demand products. As you can tell, that's something that I definitely like to talk about, right? It's one of my favorite things to talk about with you guys, putting together digital products and POD offers too. So let's go over to the template. If you don't have this, the binge book is one of several templates that you get in the Create a Book bundle and Create 5 Books bundle. Actually, either you can get that set or get all of it, the Wealth Builders Bootcamp, over at sistersense.com/WBB. Okay, so sistersense.com/WBB is where you'll be able to take a look at the Wealth Builders Bootcamp and get all of these book templates as part of that experience if you don't already have it. Okay. So I like to first name my document and then figure out what pages I want to keep versus what pages I want to get rid of. So I'm going to rename this How to Make Money Online. Or you know what? I think I'm going to call this Smart Ways to Make Money Online by Shonda Henry, aka Sister Sense. Now, this may seem like a simple thing, but clients always forget. They get the template, they start using it, and the title is like copy of LaShonda's template. You know what I mean? Rename it so that it's the title of your book, as well as putting your name or your brand name, or maybe a combination of all three, right? That's number one. And then number two, being able to pick out the pages that you say, okay, I'm going to use that cover for this particular project. There are 2 covers here. I don't want this one. I think I'm going to go with this one. And then there's the welcome page. And then let's zoom in here so you can see these a little bigger. as far as me showcasing the blog post links, I could use this one, or this one, which tends to be the one that I use quite a bit. Then there's a quote page, there's a photo page, there's a great page for upsell offers, and then the author page as well as your back page. This page lets you know that this is actually a part of a series inspired by my easy workbook template. So it's informational. And so I'm just going to delete that page for now. But it's got so many great resources, information about other templates that I've created to help you with your projects. So I think what I'm going to do is I like to keep things consistent. So let me show you just to let you know. This guide that I did was, again, the same templates that I use for my projects are the templates that I give y'all, right? You can see here, this is my welcome page, and this is the style page that I tend to like to use. So I think what I will do is use this one for the other project. Soon as I can find it again. Okay. And then I'll delete this page and delete that page. I think what I'll do is create 3 pages, so 15 blog posts. In between these two, I'll put a quote. In between these two, I'll put a photo, and then I'll have the upsell, the back, and then bim, bam, boom. That's 12 pages right there. So this is something that I like to put together as a free resource, right? And so normally those I'll do anywhere between 10 to under 20 pages. But of course, you can make them as big as you want, right? Depending upon how many resources you want to link inside of that particular guide, as far as your audios, your videos, your blog posts, your social media posts, etc., etc. Okay. Um, so let's go, like I said, let's go back into the template. As you can see, it's 10 pages. I am going to hit undo a couple of times just so that I can show you in case you missed it, because I'm trying to keep track of these windows that I'm switching from, but you may not have just seen what I was explaining. So as I mentioned before, the info page at the back, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to keep things consistent, still use this style page. Um, and then I'll delete this style. So you basically start off by picking what pages you want to keep. I'm going to make 3 versions of this page, put a quote page in between this one and that one. Now I kind of have a 10-page layout, as I mentioned before, that I like for this particular project, right? And then the next thing that I'm going to do is to start working on my branding, colors, my logo, my stock photos. But let's jumping ahead a little bit. Let's start off with color scheme. So I'll click on text and then change all to my brand purple. And then I'll click on that shape element that you see at the bottom there and change all. You see that right there that says change all, so that across the board, all my pages now are reflective of my brand color. So I'm just curious, those of you who are watching me, whether you're live or via the replays, what brand colors, number one, are yours? Maybe you have one or a couple. I tend to like to use a combination of these colors right here, mainly the variations of purple and gold, but I do have times when I'll add a little bit of blue and green into the mix as well. What are your primary brand colors, number one? And number two, if you're liking the idea of putting together a binge book where you can showcase some of your previous content that you've worked on, what kind of content would that be, right? I'm just kind of curious if you are thinking about coming up with something like this. um, what you would put together. So this one is going to be on smart ways to make money online. So I'm going to go over to photos, and I'll pop her right in there. And I'm not even going to stress about looking for like a ton of photos. I'm just going to use some of the most recently ones that I've had before. Um, and then possibly, actually, you know what I might put back there? One of my favorite background photos. Let me find that. I'm going to go to transparency and adjust the transparency slightly. I think I'm going to try something else back there. Yeah, somehow I thought I would like that a little bit more, but I don't. So I'm going to go over to photos. Now, here is a keyword that I use a lot. Okay, I'm a designer, so I tend to create a lot of these documents. Overlay. An overlay is usually when photographers will take an overview or top view of a particular piece. So, for example, I may do overlay desk laptop, right? I don't know if you've ever seen photos like this, right? Where there's a desktop computer, or there's, something else. Now, this one doesn't look very girly, so maybe I can find another overlay, and I like this one. It's got flowers. That's pretty. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just do a simple overlay at the top and my photo right there. Now, I do have other photos of me in purple. Or like I like to have some sort of synergy between my photos, either what I have on, or something that's primary in the background. I noticed that this one actually has a turquoise blue, which is one of my favorite colors. As you can tell with my jewelry that I always have on, lots of turquoise blue things, right? um I tend to, my room is like that, like blue and purple. So that would fit in, right? Something like that. It would just kind of pop out. And then I think I have another set of photos somewhere in here where I am in all purple. And I think I'm going to look for that one if I can find it without taking too long. This is my favorite part though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like just customizing the template, making it my own. This is basically my favorite part. So I want you to be able to not only QC quickly create quality content, but I want you to be able to have fun with it. A lot of times people are either stressed out because they don't have the time, or they're not friends with technology, and you could probably relate to that, or it may be something else that you struggle with when it comes to putting your content together. And I want you to be able to have fun with the process. So yeah, these are the ones in the purple. Where is that purple sweater? as, as I think about it, where is that purple sweater? Um, just have fun with the process and make it your own. Let's pretend that I wrote my intro, because it's somewhere else, not here, but let's pretend that it's here. And Canva also has lots of script fonts. So if you didn't like this one, you could certainly search through the fonts and find another one that worked better for you. Brittany is another one that I like to use too. There are quite a few of them here. But you can tell, you can either just kind of copy and paste, rinse and repeat to make it your own, or you can, um, you know, go left field. And I say keep it simple, but it's up to you what you want to do when you're working on this process. Oh, lots of comments. Um, Hey Tal, welcome, welcome. I have variations of gold, green, and purple. Green is a healing color, so that's why I added it to my palette. I occasionally use pink and black. Yes, I love certain hues of green as well. So awesome that you guys are tuning in. I'm just going to take a little bit of time here to enjoy the process. I'm not so much going to be putting in too much, but I do want to show you what some of this stuff would look like, right? So for example, let's put in a post, right? So I'm gonna go and grab 5 ways to print your profits. I'm gonna grab that real quick. I'm going to put print your profits here because there's not a lot of space there for me to put a really long title unless I decrease the size of the font. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to take a little bit as a little bit of the main title. And normally what I'll do as well is, let me just show you here. I'll either copy and paste from the title and or copy and paste from the text that's in the blog post. And then here, come in here and paste that. Now, that looks like a lot. So either I would edit the text or change the size of the text to fit. Now, in the interest of time, I'm not going to read all of this and adjust it and all the things because it would make sense to do that, but then we would be on here forever, right? But you get the gist of being able to have your main header, your internal text, and then you can use photos that you like to represent your post, right? So as I mentioned before, I'm not going to go too crazy when it comes to searching. I'm just going to focus on grabbing one of those pictures that I used for other things. Now, I'm also going to go back here and copy the link that's in the browser, okay? The link that's in the browser, you may not be able to see it on my end, but when you're in your browser, copy that link, and let's go back into the document. I'm going to select the title, and I can't find the link icon. You ever look for the link icon, you can't find it? You look for 3 dots because sometimes depending upon how wide your laptop or your desktop screen is, or even if you're using the Canva app, you may not see what you're looking for. Look for 3 dots and that will show you more, right? And so there goes the link icon. Curious, do you guys use the Canva app? I absolutely swear by it. As a matter of fact, I was waiting to pick up my son today from the bus stop, and what you call it while I was doing that, I was working on a project for a client, but I was editing his stuff on my Canva app. So I don't know if y'all use the app. I'm just curious. Feel free to let me know. Number one. Number two, did you get your free template? If not, make sure you go over to the a book a day challenge page over at success.com/ABAD. AB for a book, AD for a day. Sign up there, okay? Get access to the replays of this 5-day experience. Right now we're on day 3, and then I have other resources there for you. I'm going to include a link to my easy email marketing and sales PDF guide. You can definitely just enjoy it as a resource, but you can also use it as an example of the kind of quick PDFs you can put together using my templates. And then of course, if you do want the templates themselves, they are inside the Wealth Builders Bootcamp. When you click that link, you can either get the full bootcamp or just the 5-book bundle, depending upon whichever you like, but both gives you access to these templates. Okay, just wanted to make sure I said that. Oh, as I see my girl Katoya in the building. So Katoya, side note, having a personal conversation with Katoya real quick. Mini Me is turning 16 next week, Friday. Katoya has 3 boys, and I remember we were talking about birthdays, and I'm like, "I am done," and you're like, "No, we need to celebrate our little boys until they're, like, 90." So, yes, I will be doing I don't know what it's called for boys, but his boy sweet 16, yeah, we're gonna have a little party for him next week, so I saw you here and I thought I might as well mention that. Hey, Mommy Slays, I shouted you out and shared your amazing 25 ways to heal earlier on in today's session. I'm a little early, but hopefully right on time for those of you who are looking for information and motivation when it comes to your own personal digital product, book projects, and print on demand projects too. Again, remember to go over to sizzlesense.com/ABAD so you can sign up for this fabulous free 5-day challenge experience. Yes, it's definitely important to celebrate, right? 16th birthday. Okay, so sad note, me and Katoya had to talk for a little bit. Let us go into Let's go back into the template. So you click each element that you want to link to that particular post. And in this case, it's on my blog. So I copy the link to the post, and then I'm going to click the link icon and link the title. And then I'm going to click the description, link that as well, and click the photo and link that as well. Now, it's 3 pieces. So I could link the number as well, but I tend not to. I just focus on if somebody's reading my PDF, whether they mouse over the photo, the description, or the title, they will get access to that particular post. Now, I really don't like the underline. For me, it just takes away from the cleanness of the document. Can you imagine like one page all underlined? So I tend to remove the underline. And so again, if you don't see that underline feature when you just look at your top menu, go to 3 dots and look for the U with the underline, and then you can take care of that, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So right now I'm focused on articles on making money online that I've written on my blog, but you could pull from any content you have, whether whether it be a podcast, a YouTube channel, anything that you basically want to create a PDF document around. So that you have like a clean, organized document that gives people access to some of your best content. Okay. So let's do that one more time, one more again. Let me find another article. How to create irresistible offers for your audience. Okay. So I have I've got 2 podcasts, but here's one of them. And this particular episode is on creating irresistible offers, right? So now that I have copied a piece of the title, anyway, not the whole thing, but just a piece of it, I'm going to pop that in there. So it is on 2 lines. I could decrease the size of the font to put it on 1 line, but I'm just going to put irresistible offers to shorten it. And then also look for the text real quick. So I'm just grabbing the text description that I wrote on my podcast as well, so I can paste it into here too. And then, as I mentioned before, the last thing that I'll do is just find a photo. Now, I like to add photos that are reflective of that particular article, right? And so in the interest of time, I'm not going to go too deep into photos, but I might look for African woman headphones because it's a part of my podcast, right? Um, this is a nice one. And then grab the link to the podcast episode and pop it in here. Pop, 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 pop. One, two, and 3. I would sit and strategically go through all of these. My rule of thumb, though, is first I get all of my posts and put it in a document, right? So I showed you that a little bit earlier today. This morning, I said, I have a brain dump document where I'll come up with my title and then start to link and list all of the ideas. Then I'll go into the template, lay out the template, and then start to link to the documents, right? Because it can feel a little bit confusing and or overwhelming when you're trying to do it all at once. Search for the articles, pop them into the document, edit, design. You got all these screens open. I like to just do one piece at a time. Brainstorm first, look for the post that I want to link to second, then go into the document, customize it third, then copy and paste the content over fourth, then save the document as a PDF fifth. Bam, bam, boom. I'm done. I'm off to the races. You got to have a process, right? So I did say to you, my method of success is what I call the FAST method, right? First, you got to focus on FAST. I was about to say RESPECT. I don't know. I was having a moment there. Formulas, automation systems, and templates. That is my signature method to success. F, formulas. A, automation. S, systems. T, templates, right? So let's go back into the doc. And of course, periodically we'll check in with you guys to see what you guys are saying to me. I know, right? Not the RESPECT of it all, right? So then, of course, if I wanted to customize the footer, I would probably make money online and then sistersense.com. But of course, make sure that I link this to Sister Sense. So if anybody is wanting to, out of curiosity, click the header or the footer, I should say, it links back to my website. Now, I tend to type my links in the browser and then copy what's in the browser. And I'll tell you why, because I type really quickly and human error. I always leave out the A in sister. And so it's like cyst sense. Like I always make that error. So I tend to like to have it in the browser first and make sure I test it and um it's a working link, because the worst is when you put your links in and you feel like you did a thing, but your links are incorrect. This is not an automated process when you do your footer. So what you want to do is copy it, number one, and then number two, go into those other pages. Or rather, you could delete it from the other pages. I only have three, so this is not going to be a painstakingly long process. But usually what I do is make sure that the first instance of that page looks like I want before I duplicate it. Just being honest, I didn't do that today, but that's something I would normally do. Okay. And of course, I've got to change these numbers. So then at this point, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, here's the thing. It's not difficult, right? As you can tell. What's great though is once you've customized it the way you like, then no longer are you starting from my template, but you're using your last document as your template. So one of the ways that I'm able to quickly speed through this process is, let's say I made one of these documents and I've got 20, 30, 40 ways. Next time, I don't have to sit here and go 11, 12, 13. I just use that document and switch it out and I'm off to the races, right? Um, and so I can then also customize. I was looking for the zoom out. Customize the pages, right? Add a quote. Make sense of making money online. That's what Sister Sense is all about, right? I always mention to you guys that really I keep it simple when it comes to the footer page, but of course you can do whatever you like. I just tend to keep it simple. So I put sis I don't know where the T is, and I tell you, I always screw up sister somehow when I write. I write way too fast. Um, and then my logo. I'm just doing a little bit more. These last couple of days, I feel like I've been breezing through these templates, doing a little bit more customization than I normally do, just to kind of give you a sense of the full process. And there are, oh, see, this is good. This is, what you'll notice is that you can drag and drop photos in, right? So I took my logo and then I do this and it wants to drag it into that spot. So what I would do is hit lock first. So I lock it. Then I can put my logo on top of it. So once it's locked, that means don't put anything here. Don't do it. But let me go and see if I can find one of those photos of yours truly when I don't look like a hot mess or too much of a hot mess anyway. Um, I can pop that in there, right? And then you get the gist. So love this font. And then meet Lashonda, web designer, content coach, your business bestie, right? Am I not your business bestie? I know I am. So I may make it a little bit smaller. 13, 13, 13 is a magic number for me. Um, Maybe increase the spacing a little bit or not too much spacing. Now I like it, but then I'm looking at where it says business bestie and it's overlapping the text. So I'm going to show you one of the reasons why I wanted to go in a little bit more detail today is I can show you just little things that I do as a designer to clean up either my documents or those of clients that may not have occurred to you. So I'm going to just take a simple square and like so, like that. Put that right here. Doesn't make sense until I make it white. And then take this text right here, position forward. So now I just slightly, okay, now this, nope, okay, there we go. I just slightly I just hid that. I like the curve of the 8Y in Henry, but it's just kind of blocking some of that text. So I figured why not just block it out? So it just makes that little space cleaner and easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm off to the races. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, you are my bestie. Hearts, hearts, hearts. So let's see here. If I just kind of zoom out real quick, or rather, I think it's probably better to go in grid mode. You can see it's coming along pretty nicely, right? I can create a binge book, nice color, nice design, giving them links back to some of my favorite resources and things that I've written around, but rather, I consider everything that I do to be a resource, right? So when I write social media posts, when I write podcasts, well, not write podcasts, but record podcasts or write blog articles, I can then link to them in this particular document, right? I will show you something. Let's go back into the last one that I did. And I'm going to try to not forget when I get off here to make sure a link to the Entrepreneur's Email Marketing and Sales Guide is on the A Book a Day page, right? So if you haven't signed up for the challenge, make sure you go over to sizzlesense.com/ABAD to sign up, number one. And then number two, when you get back there, I'll make sure to update the page so that this resource guide is there for you. The last page of this list, I'll show you. These are not articles, these are solutions as far as working with me, right? So if you do want to work on your email marketing and sales, you can, number one, send me a voice message. You can schedule a call. You can join my mastermind. You can join my Facebook group. You can buy me a coffee if you like this guide, right? Being able to share, either work with me, connect with me, schedule a call with me, booking, scheduling, all the things is part of that list, is one of my strategies. I always talk about the fact that when you have people's attention, you should intentionally mention those things that you have that you want to direct them towards. So outside of, let me create a book, a binge book around a particular theme, identify what the posts are going to be, but of course, ultimately, what else do you want to share with them? What else do you want to offer them as part of that experience, right? And making sure you can clearly connect that content inside of your book. Bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So, oh, one more thing. um, this one goes without saying to me. I think you're pretty good here, but maybe you're not, right? For me, the next natural step would be to hit share, then download the guide so that I could then share it however I like online, right? Ultimately, you could just simply give it to people, but the smarter thing to do would be to put it behind a sign up form, right? So, for example, sense.com/ABAD. Let's go there real quick. Add onto the screen. This is sizzlesense.com/ABAD, essentially where you can go to sign up for this free 5-day challenge. And then when you do, pop your name and your email address in there too. You'll be able to see, number one, the replays, right? You can click on and watch a playlist. We are on day number 3. So by the end of today, you should see 6 videos in here, and then 2 more days, right? So it's going to be lots of videos in the player. There's an audio you can listen to as well. And then other resources that I have here, I'll make sure to add the, I could actually do it now while I'm here so I don't forget. I'm not going to do it now, but make sure I do it. This page, right? So my point being is, you can just simply create your freebies and give them away. The better way is to put them behind a sign up form and offer them as a freebie lead magnet. So I love to use the ConvertKit platform. It's one of my personal favorites. If you are curious about trying list building and putting up landing pages, sign up pages, and you've never done it before, you're certainly welcome to try out ConvertKit through me over at sizzlesense.com/CONVERT convert kit. But of course, if you already have another platform of choice that you're using, make sure that you are using this strategy to create binge books that can drive traffic back to you, but at the same time, building your list too, right? Creating sign up pages that can help you with your list building efforts. So that's it. That's all she wrote for today, my dear. Day number 3, it's a wrap from yours truly. Day number 4, audio books is coming up next. Workbooks, idea books, binge books, audiobooks. That's what we will talk about and explore tomorrow in the AM and the PM too. Anything else that I can help you with feel free to email sizzlesense@gmail.com, or when you're on the sizzlesense.com website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. All right. And again, as I mentioned before, if you just really love these templates, there's definitely more where that came from. Make sure you grab all your official templates goodies inside of the Wealth Builders Bootcamp. And of course, check in with me if you need additional clarity about what is where, how, when, and where do you get it? Why do you need it? What's up next? Any questions you have, because I'm sure that with me, there's always a lot of questions that need to be answered for that extra dose of clarity. Yes, audiobooks tomorrow. Excited. Good stuff. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. Till then, take care.